Hey guys, I wanted to do another holiday look. This look is going to be more so for those parties that are your ugly Christmas sweaters or your overly festive parties where you just dress up like a Christmas tree. Which is why I have this nice little ribbon in my hair to go with this look. If you would like to see how to get this festive look, then stay tuned for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave.
Okay, to start out, I'm going to apply the NYX HD eyeshadow base, and I am putting this all over my lid, first with the doe-foot applicator, and then I just rub it in with my fingers. Now I'm going to take this skin tone color out of my palette, the Flawless Matte palette from Makeup Forever, and apply this all over my lid using the large shader brush from Wet n Wild. Next, I'm going to use this brownish red tone out of that same Flawless Matte palette with a Japanese fluffy blending brush and just apply that all into the crease and the outer corner. While applying this, you want to make sure that you do the windshield wiper motions and also focus on that outer corner to get a nice even transition shade. Now using the Makeup Revolution Mermaids Forever palette, I am going to go in with this red color. I'm also going to spray my brush with the e.l.f. Set and Mist Spray to make sure that color pops. This brush doesn't exactly give me the look I am wanting, so I'm going to trade it out and instead use the flat shader brush from Japanese. Now with this color, what I'm going to do is to pat it all over the lid. I want to make sure that this is vibrant and shows up as red as possible because that is the look I'm going for. This shade is not very pigmented, so what I had to do was go into my palette a couple of different times just to pick the pigment up, making sure to spray the brush each time with that spray to get the full color of the shadow. Now that we finally have that color on, I'm going to take that fluffy blending brush again and just run it back over into my crease to make sure there's no harsh lines and to make sure everything is completely blended out. I forgot to show this, but this is the Essence eyeliner that I got from Ulta. It's $3 and I absolutely love it, so much so that I bought 8 more. So I'm going to take this and just line my upper lash line. This eye was easier for me to do than the other eye. As you will see, I struggled a little bit. I'm trying not to tug at my eyelids when I apply my eyeliner. But here you will see I just gave up and went ahead and started to pull it. You're not supposed to do this because it stretches out the eye elasticity and makes wrinkles. However, I was just not getting that eyeliner on there any other way. This next step is called tight lining, and you lift your lid and get the underneath of your waterline. It is probably the most dangerous, scariest step, and my fiance hates watching me do this. To make this look a little bit more festive, I'm going to add this green eyeliner from Physicians Formula to my lower waterline. Now I'm going to take this brush from Eco Tools, the smudging brush, and just smudge that out so there's not any harsh lines and make a little bit more of a smoky effect. Now moving on to the face, I am going to start off with my Benefit Cosmetics Professional Primer. I just apply this to my T-zone, my forehead, my chin, my nose, and right there on my cheek area closest to my nose where my pores are the largest. Also make sure to get around the corners of my nose really good because this is where my makeup tends to cake up. For my foundation, I'm going to be using the Sephora 10-Hour Wear Perfection Foundation and my Real Techniques Miracle Diamond Sponge. I love this sponge so much because it is so large that it gets the area covered in probably half the time that the Beauty Blender does. However, there's still a lot of positives to the Beauty Blender. I think it does a wonderful job, but this is a great backup sponge, especially if you don't want to spend the full price. It is only $10. It's from Real Techniques, and it is sold at Ulta or on Real Techniques website. I make sure to completely blend my makeup out everywhere, getting underneath the eyes, under the neck, and making sure that it's blended into my hairline so there is no stark lines from the foundation. Now I'm going to take my NYX HD Photo Concealer Wand and apply this right underneath my eyes in a triangle shape to cover up any dark circles or redness that I might exhibit there. I'm also going to be taking this concealer down the bridge of my nose, up my forehead a little bit, over my chin, and into my Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to blend it out with that Real Techniques Miracle Diamond Sponge. The bottom half of this corners are great for getting into that eye area. They fit just perfectly, and so that is what I like using it for most. Now I'm going to be using the NYX Mineral Set It and Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder. This is to bake your face. While the face is baking, I'm going to be using my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Auburn to work on my eyebrows. As you can see, they're not as full at the end as I would like for them to be, so I just work by filling them in throughout and making them look nice and even shaped. Once I've put that all the way through both eyebrows, I then take the spoolie on the other end and just run it through my eyebrow hairs to make sure they're all going the same direction and not flying off in different ways. Then I use the Benefit Cosmetics Gimme Brow Gel in shade 3. This is to help the eyebrows stay in place and also add a little bit of color to them. This helps me out a lot because that auburn is a little too light and the shade 3 is a little too dark, but blended together they are perfect. And then I spoolie through them again. Now I'm going to take the Real Techniques powder brush and I'm going to wipe away all of that powder that I used to bake my face. This powder essentially just worked to make sure to set all that foundation and concealer and is great if you plan on wearing your makeup for a couple of hours. You want to make sure that you blend this powder in really well. If not, certain lighting on cell phone cameras or regular cameras can cause it to show up. So for me, what I will typically do is shine my cell phone flashlight onto my face while looking in a mirror just to make sure I have it completely blended out and wiped away. Now I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Multicolored Pressed Powder and my EcoTools Retractable Kabuki to bronze up my face. I apply this around my forehead, down the side of my face, and underneath my chin just to bronze up and brighten up the face a little bit. Now for my contour, I'm using the Benefit Hoola Bronzer and the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I like using this because it is a cooler tone brown and doesn't need to be so much of a bright tone because it is supposed to emulate a shadow on your face. So I basically just carve out my cheekbones with this, and then I'm also going to run this down the side of my nose as well. I take the big powder brush again and blend all that. Now I'm using the True Match blush from L'Oreal on my face, and I'm using the Expert Face Brush again and smiling while I do this so that I just hit the top of my cheeks with that pink. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder, and I am going to be using this as my face highlight and also using the Wet n Wild contour brush. As you'll see, I will just apply this right atop where I applied that blush, up the side of my eye a little bit, down the center of my nose, and I'm using a concealer brush for this because it's a little bit smaller and gets in there better, and also along my Cupid's bow and my chin. For my eye highlight, I'm going back into that Mermaids Forever palette and using this brush that I got in my Ipsy bag. If you have not seen my Ipsy bag video, I will link that down below in the description box. Now it's time to work on the eyelashes, and you are actually supposed to curl your eyelashes before applying mascara. I did not know this until recently myself, but after doing so, I see why. I'm using the Benefit Roller Lash in the shade Black for my mascara. This mascara is amazing. It lifts my eyelashes wonderfully, and now that I've learned to curl them beforehand, it works great. Now to finish up, I'm going to be using this Avon lipstick that my mother gave me. I'm not sure of the shade, but it's kind of a pinky red tone.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.